skirts are not traditional garments. They were introduced at the turn of the 1900s purely for entertainment purposes only. The name of these skirts are our pew skirts. Also using the flax plant, I'll be demonstrating how we extracted a fibre located inside this plant to make all of our traditional clothing, bindings of our houses, as well as rope.
Just online, right, Bill?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
To give you an idea, this nursery's been going for about 45 years now. It's a family business. We're the third largest fruit tree nursery, and we only do fruit trees, producing about 140,000 trees. I'm also the largest rootstock producer in the country, producing 750,000 rootstocks. Give you an idea of our industry, at the moment, as a national organisation, Fruit Tree Growers Group, we're selling between 500 and 600,000 trees. So that's quite small. That's half the, shall we say, half the production of Willow Drive. We were about 1.2 million trees a year, but over the last 4 it's dropped considerably. So we're in survival mode. One of the issues is probably it makes you a better manager. You certainly learn how to spend your money wisely, how to cut the fat out of the system. We're probably concentrating on producing better stone fruit trees at the moment because we know we can get a premium for our stone fruit trees. We're selling 30% of the pit fruit trees we're producing. There's a whole range of reasons to do with that. Not that we don't have the right conditions, but I would have to say, frankly, the marketers haven't done it right. And our whole industry's in quite a lot of turmoil at the moment as far as the marketing of fruit and especially grower confidence. There's just very little grower confidence out there. Growers aren't willing to invest, and so therefore nurserymen are unable to invest. We have a fairly good temperate climate. We have winter temperatures that average 12 to 15 degrees Celsius, which I think's between 55 and 60 Fahrenheit. We've got summer temperatures that generally average 20 to 35 degrees Celsius, so we're 70 to 95. We're sitting on a massive underground supply of water. This whole Hiratonga Plains, which is about 115 square miles, 300 square kilometres, has to 250 metres deep varying stratas of water. We pull out for irrigation purposes about 24 million cubic metres of water a year, and I've got some figures which I'll grab to give you an idea of the volume that's there. We just turn a well on and it flows out. Generally between 750 and a metre, so that's about 36 inches. 36 inches is our natural rainfall. New Zealand, of course, 2 islands, and we've got a backbone to our islands. We have a wet side and a dry side. Most of our weather coming from the east has got to get up and over the hills, so it's dropping most of its moisture on the other side of the island. And we generally here have a summer drought. We can go 2 months, 3 months without rain, significant rainfall quite happily. That's where the aquifer comes into its own. If you want a quality pip fruit tree at the moment on a dwarfing rootstock is going, and this is excluding goods and services tax and this is excluding royalties, is going to cost you about $8.50, $8.75. If it's on a dwarfing rootstock, it's going to cost you 30 cents for the royalty for the rootstock. If it's a Hort Research variety, you could be paying anything up to $2.25 royalty for the variety. Most pip fruit varieties, their royalties are $1.50. So we're really talking you're a $10, $11 tree. The major issue that's held back dwarf plantings in New Zealand is woolly apple aphid. We don't get cold enough to kill them. So they're going to overwinter in the soil. As a management issue, IFP, integrated fruit production, which is the use of the softest chemical you can use to get the result you want, which specifically insecticides, is something that our industry is moving towards rapidly. And what's happening is because we're no longer using some of the very, very strong insecticides, we're actually getting predator build-up. I've got organic growers on mark who are saying there was plenty of woolly apple aphid, but when I came to pick them, the predator had moved in and they were all gone. So as an industry, we're becoming somewhat organic. My attitude towards that is we need to head that way. I don't know if organic necessarily is the best. Remembering that we've got another 2.5 months of growth yet, we're about to start budding. That's a traditional line, peach seedlings, planted as a cell plant. They're actually not too bad. The outside 3 rows aren't the greatest, but that would be quite reasonable. They'll make that size by budding. Well, what we're doing is some trials. We've started cell planting our peaches. We'll never do anything but cell planting again. We're taking the seed, we're cracking the stone, we're taking the kernels out, we're grading the kernels, we're then stratifying them, but we're also removing the inhibitor. The peach kernel has an inhibitor on it. The inhibitor is there in the wild so that it doesn't grow too soon. In the wild, the peach rots away, the stone sits there, the water washes the inhibitor off over time. So we're artificially doing that. We're giving the seed themselves, we're fungicide treating it, giving it to a specialist, and he's producing this a line of cell plants. Yeah, labour is available. Generally, depending on skill level, if you want someone unskilled just to come in, do some weeding, do some trimming, we're paying about $8 an hour. It's not a lot. If for a more experienced man, you'll be around the 10. Permanent staff, generally between $11 and $13 an hour. So we've got 9s, and then we changed to mark, M26, a few 106 and a few 793. We got throughout New Zealand, there's a wide range of soil types. There's a wide range of grower opinion as well on what he perceives as best for his orchard. So we've still got growers who want to replant at 5/3 on a 793 rootstock. One of the issues that you've got to always look at in New Zealand is we have a very high light intensity. We can actually grow a large tree. We can produce something like 120 tonne of fruit per hectare if we want to. So we can get extremely high yields.
Well, my name's Jonathan Moffat, and with my 2 sons we run this this orchard. Bruce has asked me to take over here because he's with the other party at the moment. So I just say welcome to Hawke's Bay. We concentrate on the local market a lot. We have Splendor, and so we do about 70% of our sales, our total volume in the local market. And currently, out of the 300 acres, 40 is bare, going into dwarf rootstock this year and next year. But by production, we've got about 30% Pacific Rose. That's the New Zealand produced variety. 18% Royals and Sports, that's Galaxy and Brookfield. 15% Granny Smith, 12% Braeburn and Sports, 7% Fuji, and all the other varieties are under 5. That's Sunrise, Fiesta, Splendor, Ordinary Gala. That's Ordinary Gala you saw coming down the drive. We're mulch treating it to get a 50% colour. They go to the UK and a local market program called Sundancer. And Pacific Queen and some Stone Fruit, and just about 0.5% of Red Delicious for a small and shrinking program in our local market here. We've been in integrated fruit production for some 5 years and haven't used any OPs in the last 3 years. We haven't had a mite spray on in 9 years. We've no mites at all. The predators are well in control. We're very conscious of our predators, and it's only on the little amount of Red Delicious and of Grannies that we use carbaryl for thinning. Otherwise, we're not using any carbaryl in the other varieties for thinning to try and protect the predators and protect the insect balance in the orchard.
Now, you get about half the production here versus over there, but you get more profit here because of the quality.
Well, with this apple business, I don't know if we'll get any profit, but it might do better than the other block.
You might lose less.
Yeah.
What is your personal attitude about the change in the New Zealand apple carbaryl?
I don't think we have sufficient time for that. I was the director of ENZA for 9 years, and I'm pretty familiar with the system. But worldwide, there's overproduction, and that's a basic problem. Yeah, I had the question just about Pacific Rose, but I'm certainly a fan. I think it's just a marvelous apple, and it has just captured the imagination, certainly in New Zealand and certainly in Singapore. And it's very difficult to handle, but like all the things worthwhile doing, they're difficult.
When does that ripen for you?
The very earliest we'll have some is late March, but it's really an April harvest period. It's much the same as Fuji.
Panning down the road, Brookfield Gala at the Moffat Orchards in Napier, New Zealand. Very high colored, very nice.
The problem with the Brookfield and Galaxy is they go almost black, and to the uninitiated they look like Red Delicious,